I'm a big fan of Mike Flanagan, and it seems like the horror director is on a roll this year. We already have The Exorcist Martyrs, starring Scarlett Johansson, scheduled for a 2027 release, and now the news on the grapevine is that Flanagan is making a Carrie reboot. Yeah, you heard that right. Turns out Carrie White didn't burn in hell after all. Pun intended. Because the 1976 classic Carrie, which is based on none other than the Stephen King novel of the same name, is coming back on the screens after decades. I'm so hyped to see Carrie doing this all over again. I mean, even something close to this will get me, I swear to God. Anyway, without further delay, let's check out all the fresh updates we have on the new Carrie project. My brother got the Brian De Palma Direct Carrie DVD one fine day when I was around 15 or so. And oh boy, I fell in love with the movie. I ended up reading the novel and having watched the movie multiple times since. I swear, there are very few movies that you can unpeel layer by layer with each rewatch. Carrie is one such movie. Sure, there's horror and some seriously bloody scenes. I'm not sure how prom night might have felt to young ladies after watching the movie. But then again, the film has so many messages. Carrie is one of the most sympathetic and tragic protagonists in horror history, and Sissy Spacek did a commendable job of evoking our pity. You have themes of a young girl dealing with puberty, bullying, and even specks of religious extremism that suggest what's sinful and what isn't. What a brilliant coming-of-age horror film. No wonder it got an Academy Award nomination. Now, generally, I would be apprehensive if iconic properties like these that are practically revered are brought up in reboot talks, but Flanagan's name being attached to this is an assurance. Even more so because Flanagan has already tackled Stephen King adaptations, and they've been pretty good. Gerald's Game, The Life of Chuck, and Dr. Sleep. He also has a couple more up his sleeve, like the Dark Tower series and The Mist, which is reportedly developing from the King of Horror's works. King himself has appreciated Flanagan multiple times. Like he told Times, "I like it a lot. He took my story, which was the sequel to The Shining, and basically did a seamless well to Stanley Kubrick's film, which is probably one of the reasons why Warner Brothers was eager to do it. I always felt that the Kubrick film was rather cold, and director Flanagan warmed it up." Back in 2024, Define first announced the project, and we learned that Carrie White will be returning as an 8-episode miniseries on Amazon, with Mike Flanagan working as the showrunner and executive producer alongside Trevor Macy. Last year, we got an Instagram update from Flanagan that he had co-pleated the adaptation of King's novel, and that the production, which went into works in Vancouver in June 2025, was over. But why is Flanagan developing a new Carrie series now when it's already been updated 3 times? We had the 1999 film, The Rage Carrie 2, which was a direct sequel to the first movie, a TV movie in 2002, and then another remake in 2013 starring Chloe Grace Moretz. Flanagan himself stated that he had the thought when Amazon first offered him the project idea, and said in an interview with MVIEweb.com, "Carrie White addresses violence and harassment in high schools, and this seems relevant and very important today. Unfortunately, even more so than when he wrote it. There was therefore an opportunity to truly modernize the story, beyond simply changing the time period, and I use it to address the issues affecting American high school students today. You know, Carrie White going through a metal detector, that's interesting to me. Carrie White and social media. The iconic locker room scene is very different when people have their phones in their hands. So that was the first seed of an idea. There's room to say a lot of very relevant things. I can't reveal the changes we made to find a story worth telling, but we did make some pretty significant changes. Honestly, I can't help but agree. Unfortunately, the core theme of Carrie, the harassment, the teen culture in modern times, when cyberbullying is rampant, and there's so much news of school shootings, it does feel like Carrie can do with a fresh take. The thing is, we all know someone who falls into this adolescent age group, and every day, the world seems scarier for them. It blows my mind how Stephen King wrote about something decades ago, literally in a different generation, and it's still applicable today. In fact, in an even more relatable and concerning manner. Sure, his adaptation will have some influences from King's original novel, and maybe this time, we'll finally get to see the pregnancy scare plot of Sue Snell from the book. Even if Flanagan takes elements from the original movie, the times are just so turbulent for kids. Specifically the young adults that Carrie can be given a great twist on the classic trope. Even Stephen King seems to be totally on board with the idea because when Flanagan told him, the author replied, "Actually yes, I think it's interesting, and I think it could be very relevant and exciting." And Amazon was already interested in it. As the head of television of Amazon MG Studios, Vernon Sanders, said, "Carrie is an iconic story that has withstood the test of time with continued cultural relevance. With Mike Flanagan at the helm and the accomplished team assembled, including executive producer Trevor Macy, this provocative series is sure to capture our global consumers." The official logline of the series reads, "Bold and timely reimagining of the story of misfit high schooler Carrie White, who has spent her life in seclusion with her domineering mother. After her father's sudden and untimely death, Carrie finds herself contending with the alien landscape of public high school, a bullying scandal that shatters her community, and the emergence of mysterious telekinetic powers. And Matthew Lillard, who will be playing the principal of Carrie's school, has confirmed that social media and inspirations from real-life cases will be heavily involved in the story. Lillard told Screen Rant, "So Mike Flanagan went back, pulled out other elements from the book, and then took real-life examples of what's happening with bullying in America and applied them to this new application. He's literally ripping things from the headlines and applying them to modern day so that people can relate to what Carrie's going through. He then really looked at it from 3 points of view. It's the parents and how they deal with it. It's the faculty at the high school, where I play the principal, and then there are the kids." He continued and told us how the actors have done a great job recreating the famous characters, and said, "And I think what sets it apart is that Mike is an incredible storyteller. He's so good, and I think he's particularly good at Stephen King. His tempo, the way he approaches the work, and the honesty with which he's building characters are great. It has an incredible cast of young actors. Summer Howell plays Carrie, and she's incredible. Samantha Sloyan plays the mother, which is an iconic part that's a star-making turn for her." Talking of parents, Flanagan too has gotten Carrie a religious fundamentalist mother, and while Piper Laurie originally portrayed the abusive character, in the series, Samantha Sloyan, who's a familiar ace in Flanagan's work, will be playing the role. Coming to the titular character of Carrie White, we have Summer H. Howell, and Flanagan is finally happy with her after looking at 1,800 candidates. Boy, at this point, Howell might develop her own telekinetic powers, because the pressure's gotta be super high. Fanga told The Hollywood Reporter, "I think we ended up with the right actor for the part. It took a long time to find her, and I can't wait for people to see what she's doing, because it's unlike anything that anyone's ever done with the part before." And Sienna Ogdong, one of the popular girls who bullies Carrie, has also joined the cast as Sue Snell. Oh well, it seems like we're getting that late period plotline which might have been deemed too controversial for the first movie. The cast ensemble is pretty huge, and we have names like Allison Thornton, Amber Midthunder, Arthur Conti, Kate Siegel, Rahul Kohli, Michael Chocco, among other stars. But the director is sure happy with his cast, and in the same Instagram post with the update about the film wrapping up, his caption read, "One of the very best ensembles I've ever worked with, and already one of my favorite projects ever." Cast members like Graham too expressed their happiness to be able to work with Mike and told Collider, "Mike Flanagan's one of those people where you're like, he's so talented, but then he's also such a great guy. Everyone who works with him obsessively loves him. He's amazing." Thanks to Deadline once again, because we have some idea about the plot, as the website calls it a reimagining of the story of misfit high schooler Carrie White, who has spent her life in seclusion with her domineering mother. After her father's sudden death, Carrie finds herself contending with the challenges of attending high school, a bullying scandal, and the emergence of mysterious telekinetic powers. Graham has given us some more updates and told Collider, "She has her mother and she has the girl at school who's bullying her. I played the mom of the girl at school who's bullying her." She's reportedly seen the first 3 episodes, and they're great, and the best part is that Graham said, hopefully they're looking to maybe do a second season too. According to actress Katie Sackhoff, we're looking at an October release, and God, I've missed a Flanagan release during Halloween month for so long. She further said, "You guys are gonna love it. Mike Flanagan is so good at what he does. Smart, psychological horror," Sackhoff added. "And he's very, very good at adapting Stephen King, and Stephen trusts him." Alright guys, time to call it a day. We have some amazing talents lined up for this miniseries, and I'm so glad it's in the trusted hands of Mike Flanagan, because if anyone can make Carrie feel like a 2026 story while retaining its essence, it's him. Do let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!